Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Asa the Greek and today we're continuing Despair Time, episode 10 of chapter 1. We're continuing the class trial and last time we essentially cleared our boy Charles's name. So it's not Charles. I've narrowed it down to 6 suspects, personally. Levi, Jay, Min, Array, Wit, and Who. Now, I think I recall that Levi and Jay were together, so they have an alibi. Array was with Wit for the most part, so I don't think it's Array, but she could be her. I think Min. I think Who was with Eden, right? So I guess she has a motive. So I think it's either Wit or Min. I don't think it's Array. She seems more important than that. I don't know. Maybe it's her. But I feel like she's more important than that. We'll see. Let's start the episode. Whoever it was someone that actually sneaked up on Xander and killed him. That's the only way they got him. It wasn't a fist fight or anything like that. They just sneaked up behind him and killed him. Xander died in a very specific way, right? Which one of us here is even capable of killing him?
What does it mean?
What do you mean by that? Xander died of a stab wound to the neck, but I think someone here said something like, it's really difficult to stab someone in the neck in a fight. You wouldn't be able to win Xander in a fight. Like we saw that. You wouldn't be able to beat him. It was an ambush.
That's correct.
Ah, yes, that was me. Human reflexes are naturally poised to defend a vital area such as the throat. And even against someone with a knife, people under stress will have their ways of defending themselves. You remember the exact quote he said? The exact quote, to the last letter?
Yeah.
Just because stabbing under the neck becomes a lot harder when you factor in some other variables as well. Please, Rose, please mention the fact that no one has talked about. As I've already said, it's incredibly difficult to stab someone in the neck. Okay. That's under normal circumstances. Oh, that's Rose. According to Teruko, Xander was holding the kitchen knife to begin with. Yep. His murderer would have had to take the knife from him. Because Xander himself was attempting murder, he was likely already on guard. Finally, Xander is a really strong person. Finally! He did win an arm wrestling contest. In that case, the killer must be someone even stronger than him. No. That's the only way that they could have stabbed him. No. Is that really true? Perhaps they killed Xander a different way without stabbing him. No. What?
I agree with that.
What? Huh? I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting too. Teruko? Nico brought up an interesting idea. Okay. This whole time we've been operating under the assumption that Xander's cause of death was a stab wound in his neck.
Right.
It was only a hunch, but it doesn't make a lot of sense otherwise.
Eh?
How could his cause of death not be the stab wound? He couldn't possibly survive such an injury. He didn't. Then you're contradicting yourself.
I'll prove
No,
you
I'm saying
wrong.
that Xander received the stab wound after he was already dead. His true cause of death was something else. Didn't he have a lot of blood on there, though?
You can do better than
Whoa,
that.
there we go. You can do better than that. Alright, buddy. I'm sorry, but I'm having difficulties following that line of reasoning. Xander received that neck injury after he was already dead. That makes a little sense. It's clear to me that such a severe injury is what killed him. I don't see how it could be anything else. I guess we haven't discussed the water. Xander doesn't show any other fatal injuries. You said it yourself. He's had that eye wound for days now. Yep, that's true. Isn't it clear that being stabbed in the neck is what killed him? Unless someone poisoned the cookies and the cake that we made, and it is Min. Unless Min poisoned the cookies and shit that Xander ate, and he died from that. And he, or she, I don't know. Yeah, that. Charity, I'm cooking. I think it's a Min. It has to be. Advance. I don't think it's likely Xander would have received that particular wound and only that wound in the confrontation without injuring his assailant as well. I think there was no fight. I think he just clocked out. However, no one here demonstrates significant injuries. There must be something that we're overlooking. No one will be able to beat him in a fight either. It's not as unlikely as you say it is. Even the most well-prepared person isn't immune to the chance variations that occur in a fight. Bro, he could open the door with ease. No one could beat him. There's simply no evidence that he was stabbed after death.
I'll cut through those words!
Alright, let's see. Maybe it wasn't enough blood then. I thought it wasn't enough blood. There's no evidence. Are you so fixated on this line of reasoning that you refuse to keep an open mind?
You're wrong.
I don't remember the crime scene, so I have to like look it again. Oh, true. That's for a neck wound. That's not enough blood. When Xander was stabbed in the neck, the knife must have hit an artery because of the blood spread out everywhere on both his body and the floor. But it's only on this part. It's not like down there or anywhere else, just on the floor. So he was already probably dead when they cut it open. Yet his splatter patterns on the floor match up exactly with the stains on his body. There's no sign of any dissimilarities or smears that would suggest movement. The bloodstain is too perfect looking. True. That suggests that Xander was stabbed in the exact position on the ground. However, it doesn't make a lot of sense for him to have been lying on the ground right before he was stabbed.
Perhaps...
So perhaps Jesus finally knocked him over?
I disagree.
So then he didn't struggle or move at all on the ground, even when he was stabbed during the short moments before he lost consciousness? That seems unlikely. Best explanation I can think of is that Xander was already unconscious, if not dead, when he was stabbed. Yeah, no, like, because if he wasn't dead, the blood would be a lot more, I think. I forgot that it was just that. I'm on the cusp of figuring out what his true cause of death is. I just need to think about it further. I think it is Min. Because she was walking around. It's true that the bloodstains suggest that Xander was stabbed lying down. Yeah. Since that wasn't his cause of death, then what was? Perhaps the wound on his eye? No. That was an old injury. It makes no sense for it to have killed him now. I agree. Makes no sense, Arturo. Then there aren't any other wounds in his body. Bro, oh.
No, that's wrong.
Never mind. I'm just gonna agree with him, I guess not. You're overlooking this seemingly minor piece of evidence. Okay. Look at his left hand.
What's the matter?
Those are mere bloodstains, are they not? That's what I thought too. When I was thinking about what else could possibly be Xander's cause of death, I realized that this was it. The burn wounds? What?
Now that you mention it...
Suppose it does resemble burn wounds on his hand. How is that burn wound?
Boo!
Hey, Scraps, shouldn't you have noticed that earlier, seeing as you were a surgeon?
Why am I putting
How
up
many
with
times do I have to say this? I'm a plastic surgeon with a specialty in cosmetics, not a general doctor. Sue me if I didn't recognize the extremely subtle burn wounds at first glance. That's not his fault. Sue you? I guess a trial is as good as a time as any to have a legal battle. Well, it's funny. That would be a very small injury, though. How could that have possibly killed him? And how did he get burn wounds? But the question is, how could he have gotten burned here, huh, Teruko? There's no evidence of a fire, is there? I think you're clearly making up answers where you need them.
Stupid
Seriously,
bitch.
if you had even half a brain, you realize that what you're saying is still bullshit.
No.
I'm not sure, yeah, I'm kind of confused on how that will kill him. And I would never phrase that really. He has a point. First of all, there's definitely no evidence in any sort of fire in the computer lab, no burn marks anywhere, nor any smell of smoke. I like how Who is right next to Ray, so she can pull her ear if she says something stupid. Secondly, even if he did burn himself, it was only on his fingertips, right? Such small injury might have been painful, but definitely, yeah, it wouldn't kill him. Like what?
I'll prove you wrong.
We have to explain what you have to say first. There's a logical explanation for what I'm proposing. This can all be explained by... Oh my god, Hangsman Gambit? What? Shock.
This is it.
Xander was killed by an electrical shock. Now that might make a bit of sense. It's kind of funny how we're playing electrical shock when in Project This Garden. It's kind of funny how these are the only two faggots I've checked out so far, and they have the similar. And it's not similar, obviously, but it's somehow the same murder method. Yeah. There was water everywhere at the crime scene. The light switch was broken. Oh, true. That is true. The light switch is a J. Hold on. No, she was with Levi. I thought it was J because she had the remote control, so she could turn off the lights. So she would turn off the lights, and Xander would go to open them, and she would just get zzz. Oh, it might actually be J. Oh no! Unless someone just took her control, remote control thing. But when did she have the chance to break the... Yeah, we did have the... I forgot about that. We did have the broken switch. Xander was soaked in water and he touched the wiring of the light switch. The resulting electrical shock would have potentially stopped his heart. Yeah, no, it would.
Shit.
I don't want Jay to die. Please let me not be Jay. Weren't you opposed to this idea? Who's a dumbass here? I'm super sorry. I think that is correct. The killer didn't have to be strong, and they didn't have to fight Xander. Xander could have had the knife all the time up until he died from the electric shock. But the killer took the knife from him and stabbed his dead body. But how would the killer know, though? That's the real method of murder. They must have tried to cover it up as a stab wound.
I understand.
But when did they do that? Like, they would have known that Xander, like, had this whole plan. First, the killer turned off the lights and then stripped the light switch in the darkness to expose the wiring. Okay. Alright. Okay, I'm seeing what you're saying here. So maybe it's not Jay, because I was thinking that maybe she just turned off the lights with the light switch and with the remote control, but maybe it was not relevant. And maybe Xander went to wash himself, and in that meantime, whoever saw it was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. In fact, it's like, oh, let me turn off the lights. And then he got zapped. First lights in the computer lab are on now because of the emergency lights, but Remote TV told me that the room was dark prior to that. I feel about that. It's been days since I played the last one. Naturally, Xander, not the last one episode, but like the last previous episode, because I'm recording this one right after the episode 9. Naturally, Xander would reach to turn the lights back on, especially as he couldn't be able to see that the light switch was stripped. The resulting shock incapacitated him and killed him. Interesting. I hope he's on Jay now. Please be mean. The killer then reattached the light switch and tried to divert our attention by covering it up with an out-of-order design to make it seem like it broke on its own. In that case, there's no need to consider who's strong enough to kill Xander, as anyone has the ability to strip the light switch with the right tools.
So what?
Did anyone have tools? Did we get a wit list? Like a list of Charles with the tools? I feel some people had things that I didn't know what the words meant. Probably not. Oh, it could be wit. That's all bullshit. First of all, just a light switch. How could that be powerful enough to kill someone? You would be surprised. Second of all, if it really was that strong, wouldn't it leave bigger burn wounds? It's not only the voltage that determines the severity of an electrical shock, but the amperage. Sure, a higher voltage gives a greater current, but you also have to take resistance into account. Yeah, I think it still might be wit. The resistance of the human body varies from person to person. Wet skin will reduce the resistance much further. Yeah. Even wiring circuits in houses could be fatal and yet not be powerful enough to cause a severe burn. What's more important is that the current passes through the heart. Yeah.
Wow.
Alright, I think for Jade to say all these things, I don't think she's responsible. I think she's safe. I want to believe she's safe.
Get off your high horse.
I actually have some experience with this. Don't go around saying shit like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Ace. Yeah, Ace is kind of stupid, yeah. He's arguing with me, but that works too.
Why don't
Now
we
that we are
discuss
getting
this?
somewhere, why don't we discuss the matter of the light switch? It seems to be important to the crime. I assume we're gonna end the episode with the culprit, right? Probably. Because we have an episode and then probably the post-trial, right? Oh, so I guess we're gonna find out now, or today, who is the culprit. And the culprit also made that out of order note. Could have convinced me.
Loser.
Yeah, if you actually investigated the crime scene, loser. Did anyone look at the backside of it? Of the out of order note, I mean? Why? Is there something noteworthy on the back? Kill Teruko Tawaki? Yeah, I think that was Xander's, right? They could have leave that there as a threat. Oh, I got it! It's like DVD rotated 90 degrees. Maybe it says something else. That's why it scripts me out.
What does it mean?
Teruko, this one concerns you, right? Do you know what the meaning of this is? I don't know, it says kill Teruko Tawaki. Yeah, what else would it mean? Why would the killer leave such a message on there if they were trying not to draw attention to the light switch? They probably just found this message. It was like, oh, Xander has it. Well, alright, fuck, let's do this.
Truth is,
Yeah, I belong to Xander. How do you know that? He started talking to himself and said a lot of strange things.
I'm the worst, aren't I?
I would go voice acting.
I hate murderers. I hate the smell of blood, and I hate this feeling. I would have never
Was his voice
wanted
acted
to hurt
originally?
you. Then why did I do this? I don't even know. Why?
I don't remember.
Just why did you ask me to kill Teruko?
Yeah, someone did tell him to do that. Does that seem like Xander was being made to kill me? He did attempt to take my life, but all the while he didn't seem happy with that decision.
it seems
This scrap of
that
paper says kill Teruko Tawaki, then I'm guessing that it was some sort of order to him. The piece of paper must have originally been in Xander's possession. I think Xander just wrote it in to his future self. If this is taking place in the Count Danganronpa universe, I'm assuming Teruko and Xander lived, and he's like, oh fuck, Teruko was the mastermind. I have to give myself, from the next game, a note, so that I will know who to go for. And he's like, alright, kill Teruko, brother. Xander was ordered? I catch his eyebrows. Why didn't you bring that up earlier? Why didn't I bring it up earlier? What do you suppose I could have brought it up? Back when you all were telling me that I killed Xander? I'm sure you wouldn't have believed me back then. Yeah. If someone orders Xander to commit a murder, is that concerning? Who was that person? How was Xander going to do such a thing? I think we're gonna find out in the future. There's no way of knowing. The rest of that note was destroyed in the water, which is what those white scraps of paper probably were. See,
Of
a common
course.
trend in danganronpa stuff is that the early victims or dead people have importance in the story later, right? In DR1 it was Junko, not Sayaka, but in Danganronpa 2 it was the imposter guy that became relevant in chapter 4 again. So that, no, this is Zombie Akuya. And in V3 it was Rentaro from start to finish. So, this could be the case. I still think that Xander probably is going to have more importance later on, even if he's dead. And of course, Xander is long dead, we can't exactly ask him. With all the relevant evidence destroyed, it's likely that we won't be finding out the truth behind Xander's actions. I think you'll find it out eventually. That's what I think. Alright. Besides, to put it bluntly, I don't care. Yeah, there we go. There we go, Teruko. Yes. Don't care if someone made him to do it. He still tried to kill me. He got what I was coming to him. Since I have a hunch that his motives aren't even relevant to the rest of this case, I won't pursue that line of reasoning unnecessarily. Wow, that's a bit mean, don't you think? You guys used to be friends. Yeah, until he stabbed me. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Teruko, that's so cruel. I mean, she has every right to be angry at him. He tried to kill her. Whatever feelings we may have about the victim, we can sort those out after the trial. Let's return to the topic at hand. I think it's Min. Kill her. Min or Wit, one of the two.
I disagree, Teruko.
Oh? She sounds like fucking Lucy. Did you notice that? I just noticed the voice. She sounds like fucking Lucy from Fairy Tail.
I disagree, Teruko.
Disagree with what? I don't think we should conclude so quickly that Xander's motives have nothing to do with the case. Xander was being directed by someone else to commit a murder? That's definitely important in my eyes. Oh, true. That would, like, throw away my theory, though. But that could be the case. Why, though? Did they have something that could, like... Why? Yeah, that makes sense. Veronica makes some point here. She makes a point. Because the person that destroyed the... I don't know, yet. Because he would have known, right? Maybe they were going for a double murder. Yeah, no, she has a point here. In that case, do you have any clues that would point towards who that person is? There's a lot of information one can glean from a single note, is there not? For instance, we can analyze the handwriting on the note.
I disagree.
Yeah, we don't know the handwriting, and people just change it as well. Yeah. And you wouldn't know, you haven't seen the handwriting before. Teruko, she's like, I'm not listening to Veronica. She was acting like really stupid last episode. Or not last episode, but like episode 8. You do raise an excellent point, Veronica, and I commend you for that. However, at this time we don't have enough hard evidence at hand to pursue this line of reasoning. Damn, David agrees. Okay, I guess.
It's possible.
Besides, it's possible that the note, writer's involvement with Xander's murder, is limited to this note, and that there is no other evidence that we could find to pinpoint them. I see, but if something occurs to me, then we can return to this later, right? Exactly. Understand my point perfectly. Besides, I can tell Teruko is really resistant to discussing Xander as anything more than a piece of evidence. That's why she doesn't want to talk about his motivations. I mean, can you blame her? She was betrayed by who she assumed was a friend and stabbed her. And tried to...
Isn't that right, Teruko? You really feel hurt
Yeah.
by his betrayal, don't you, Teruko? Where's that underlying resentment always been there? Tell me! Oh, I want to take a peek inside your mind so badly. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I was a bit picky there. People saying that she could be the mastermind to this.
Hey.
I could see it. She does look like Junko. She is very obvious. So people will be like, well, usually the killer, the mastermind is someone that is not obvious. Teruko, there's a flaw in your reasoning. Why wouldn't the killer bring their own paper? That seems a lot less suspicious than searching the victim's body for paper to use. They can even be assured that Xander or you would just happen to be carrying paper around that they could conveniently use to cover up the crime. That's a good question. Could it be that the killer wasn't prepared to kill Xander?
What?
What do you mean? Bringing your own paper is a very simple thing to do. Because the killer hadn't, and because they had to rely on the chance occurrence that Xander just happened to have a paper on him, it suggests that they didn't think their plan through. So it could be RA. Or Wit. I feel like Min would have thought of that. She carried books with her, right? She could just torn it. But then you would know it was her book. Unlike Xander, who planned everything from the scene of the crime to the person he would deflect the blame to, the culprit's murder was a spur of the moment decision. Yeah. That's why I don't think he arranged the letter for Xander. I suppose it does make sense. After all, I told no one of where I was going after dinner, and I'm sure Xander didn't either, as he didn't want any interference. Yeah, I still think the note was from Xander himself. No one should have anticipated that we were meeting up at the computer lab.
Teruko!
What? It's very possible that the culprit who was trying to save your life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's Wit.
How interesting.
I think it's Wit. That's a new sprite. I think it's Wit. Because he's been like very helpful this whole trial. Very helpful. In both episodes so far. Not this one, but the previous two. And we didn't really know what he was doing. He knew that something was wrong because he saw Charles being all fucked up. So he probably walked in there, he saw Teruko on the ground, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. And he killed him. I think it's Wit. That's why he's being helpful, because he's like, I don't want you guys to die. But I don't want to just throw the. That's the culprit stumbled across the crime scene, saw his understanding of the body of Teruko Tawaki, and decided that they would bloody their own hands solely to save Teruko's. I think it's Wit. No, I think it's Wit. We're nearing the end of the episode. It has to be Wit. You're alive and standing here right now because one of us here decided to put your life above Xander's. But now you're doing everything in your power to put your savior to death. Yeah, I mean...
Isn't that just wonderful?
That is a disturbing laugh. I actually got chills. Oh my god. Stop scribbling shit to other people. You're giving me secondhand nightmares, which I'm not even sure is a real thing. Secondhand nightmares is crazy. Yeah, I think it's weird. I never said it was true. It was only an idea. Think about it, Teruko. I think that was the case from the start. That was what I think he's doing. I suppose the hypothesis that the killer was unprepared to murder makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of evidence to support it. Yeah. The fact, for example, the bloodstains on the ground were very poorly erased, and the culprit ended up leaving a lot of evidence about the initial position of Teruko's body. It all seems a bit hasty, doesn't it?
That doesn't make
Man,
sense.
how you gonna kill my boy Wit like that? What kind of a bad killer happens to be carrying a bunch of water beforehand to douse Xander in so that he can get shocked? I think Xander just went to wash his hands. I don't think someone washed. Wait, hang on. What? Oh, can you repeat what you just said? What? No, not that. You said that the killer must have been carrying around large quantities of water, despite the fact that they were not planning a murder. Oh my god, it has to be Min. Please. That's exactly it. It's Min.
I now know who's.
It has to be Min. She was walking around from laundry to the kitchen. I said that it was her from earlier, didn't I? Can only be that person. That person is. Please let it be Min. Please. Yes!
It must be you,
Bye bye.
Min Jeung,
Bye bye, Min.
the ultimate student.
Jung, you're gone. Yep, she did say it. Did I tell you that she was one of the people that I was thinking? I have to go back and listen to what I was saying. I'm pretty sure I said that Min or Wit were my main targets for this. Because she was walking around, yeah. What?
It seems
The murder was
that-
spontaneous, because there were large amounts of water at the crime scene. The killer must have had the water on them beforehand for other purposes. Yep. The music's to pick up though. I mean, your actions at the time of the murder are the only ones that would fit the description. Okay, one feedback I have to give on this. If you don't want to give these guys the lines, I don't know why. I feel like they would be happy to voice act the whole thing, because this is the only time they get to voice act really in danganronpa games. Aside from that, I feel like the music, all this, like the sound design and the class style needs to be fixed. Like, I hope that whoever watched this, they gave them, whoever the creator is, they gave them like actual good feedback for the chapter 2 trial, because the music is, I think only the second episode or like the first one was kind of actually fitting for this. I don't know. I feel like we got the whole point of, oh, this is the killer, and the music is just slowly building up. Like, what? We should have like a really pump music going on, like, I don't know, something like really action-packed, because we have found the killer, and now you have to essentially connect everything together to blame it on them. And the music is just building up, slowly. Because you were cleaning the kitchen after dinner, you would have reason to be carrying around, say, a bucket or of water. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Huh?
Min is the culprit. I'm so happy about that. So why are people like saying Min is my favorite? Min has done like mostly nothing throughout the whole thing. Unless if she crashes out later. Min totally isn't the type to commit a murder at all. Then who is the type to commit a murder in your mind? Anyone is capable of killing when placed in the right conditions. Yeah, the music is not fitting at all. I am not feeling it without the music. This is why music is so important. The right piece of music can elevate a scene from 1 to 100. Like, this would be so much more hyped if the music actually was hype. This is just regular DR music when they just talk casually. You have figured out the culprit. Act like it. You know, get us riled up, pumped, excited for what's, I don't know. Teruko, what is your reasoning for this? If your only evidence that she was cleaning the kitchen last night, she would have got...
Ridiculous.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, she's the killer. Eden and I were in the kitchen the entire time. We left her on multiple occasions to go get cleaning supplies. But still, in the time you were gone, is it even possible that you could have committed the murder?
That's complete nonsense.
I did not kill Xander. Just getting the voice acting part. It's true that Min left the kitchen to get cleaning supplies. That was a natural thing to do, so I didn't think much of it at the time. Is it really possible that Min is the killer? Yeah. Who... Was Min next suspicious or paranoid last night? It's useless to ask loaded questions like that. That can cause the subject to misremember things. I'm telling the truth when I say that I was simply transporting clean materials. No, okay. Alright. I had no clue what either Teruko or Xander was doing at the time. Yeah, the music is killing the mood. Are you saying that a chance upon the murder scene by luck? No, you walked right past the murder case room, the murder scene.
No, that's
Yeah.
wrong.
Like, I'm pretty sure I said that. Like, oh, she had to go through this. You just leave it there? Really, dude? Alright. I think if I have to say anything about this, like any feedback I can give for this trial on this series, is the fact that they need to fix the music. Especially for the trial. I don't know if this was also done by the same creator, the person that did this riots, the rioting, all this stuff. But it needs to be fixed, I feel like. Because it would be a lot more hyped if the music actually made me feel hyped that we caught the killer, you know? Instead it was just a standard. It was like a standard danganronpa music that was playing, I think, in the previous episodes as well. And even in the final, like over here, in these moments, like I get if you want to have these more calm soundtracks in the earlier parts of the trial, because nothing insane is gonna happen then, right? But when you go to this part, like even in the Count Danganronpa like musics and the soundtracks, you have a regular one and you have the heat or like whatever, like the stronger version, essentially. So even then, they knew that okay, for when shit hits the fan, we use this soundtrack, which is more hype and more pumped. That's my only feedback over this. For the class trial. And maybe, I have the voice actors actually voice act. Because when you get to see them voice act, it's really cool. And this is like the only place when they actually get to voice act in Danganronpa. Or in games like this, or in shows like these. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna stop here. We got 2 more episodes before chapter 1 ends. I'm assuming the next episode is gonna be essentially us connecting everything together and piecing it on Min. And then maybe the last episode is gonna be the post-trial and the execution. And maybe there's like a cliffhanger like they do in the V3 style. I think it was V3, I don't remember if the other ones had it. Anyway, that will be all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reaction with me. And, until the next video, do take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.